friends. How are you? Are you having a good day? I hope so. Today, we're going to start a new chapter. We're starting chapter 4 today. You already know about this number that I'm going to talk about today because you guys are so smart. Let me show you something. Do you know what this is? If you said a 10 frame, you are absolutely correct. We're going to work on the number 10 today. 10 is one more than 9. So if we were going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is the next number after 9. It's one more. I'm going to put some of my counters, they're red and yellow like yours that you have at school. I'm going to put them on my 10 frame. Can you help me count? We start on the first box and go across the top row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When we start on the next row, we start at the very beginning under the first one. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. If all of our boxes are full on a 10 frame, we have 10 counters. What happens if I take one away? We have 9, but we'll put that one back on there for 10. Are you ready to get started? Do you have your math workbook? If you do, you get a thumbs up because you are ready to go. Let's get started on page 181. If you take a peek here, you're going to see 2 10 frames. Miss Vogel has those on my board as well. We were working on the single 10 frame. We're going to look at this double 10 frame. And we're going to do 2 things. We're going to draw counters. If we had enough counters, if we had 19 counters, we could do this activity with counters. But we're just going to go ahead and we'll just improvise. That means we'll make do with something that we don't have. And we're going to use crayons. So you can use crayons if you want. Markers are kind of hard because they bleed through the paper. So I probably wouldn't suggest using a marker. So let's go ahead. In this top 10 frame, we're going to start by drawing 10 counters. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want you to stop at 9. Do not put a counter in that last box. And you're welcome to color them in if you want, but you do not have to. Okay, so we have 9 counters. Now I want you to use a different color. And in this 10 frame down here, we are going to draw all 10 counters. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, very good. What do you notice about the 10 frame that has 9 and the 10 frame that has 10? What do you notice that's different? Do you see an empty box? 9 is one less than 10. So if we were to take one away, it would be 9, like I did before with my 10 frame, remember? Remember I took one away or we flipped it over? If we do that, we took it away, but we put it back to have 10. So if you take one away, it's 9. So 9 is one less than 10. Okay, let's turn the page. Go ahead and turn your workbook page to the next page, page 182. If you have your counters today, I would like you to use your counters, or if you have cubes, whatever you'd like, and I'd like you to go ahead and put 1 cube or 1 counter on top of each hot air balloon. This is a very beautiful picture. Lots of colors, lots of things going on. I see an apple tree, a merry-go-round. It looks like some kind of fun festival is going on here. But go ahead and put one counter on top of each hot air balloon. Once you've done that, then I want you to drag each counter down to the 10 frame. Miss Vogel doesn't have any on mine. My board doesn't let me do that. But then you go ahead and drag them. So you should have, there are 10 balloons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you should end up dragging those counters down into this 10 frame, and you should have 10 counters in your 10 frame. Last, down here, I spy a number. Do you know what that number is? A 1 and a 0 makes the number 10. So would you trace that 1 and that 0 for me? We would not be able to have 10 if we made a 0. Let me move my camera just a little bit. And a 1. That would not be 10. The 1 must come first in order for it to be 10. And underneath that number word 10 is the word 10. It's a pretty simple word. It's only 3 letters. T-E-N. T-E-N. 10. You learned how to make that E last week. T-E-N spells 10. Now you have your counters that you drug down here. Let's go ahead and take one counter off and draw, one counter off and draw your counter underneath. So lift it off and draw one. Lift it off and draw one. And you'll do that until your 10 frame is completely full, because we are talking about the number 10. And if we have 10, our frame is completely full. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the next page. You are going to need your counters again, so make sure you keep those out. We have seen these before where we break numbers apart. We break them, we're going to break 10 counters down into 2 sets. And remember, I don't have a yellow, so I'm going to make my yellows green. You probably have yellow or whichever color. So let's start by looking at our number 10. Remember, the number 10, the 1 must come first. So we have a 1 and then a 0. And there's the number word, T-E-N spells 10. I'm going to use 2 colors, red and green, and here I go. You can flip your counters. I'm going to draw mine. It makes it a little bit easier. I'm going to start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I like the number 7. I'm going to start with 7 red, and I'll have to fill in the rest of them green so that I have 10 counters all together. So let's go ahead and look at our first row. How many red counters? Blank red. How many red? That top row is how many? 5. So we could say 5 and then count on 5, 6, 7. I have 7 red counters. And how many green counters do I have? 1, 2, 3. I have 3 green counters. So 7 red and 3 green equal 10. That's like saying 7 plus 3 equals 10 for those of you friends who are working on addition. Okay, let's go to the next one. Do you remember how we did this? I'm going to take away 1 red and I'm going to make that one green. Now how many red ones do I have? I have the top row. Remember, how many are in that row? We can count if we need to, but if we know there's 5 there, we could go quicker and know 5, and one more is 6. 5, 6 when we count. So there are 6 red And how many greens? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 greens. 6 red and 4 green equal 10 altogether. That's like saying 6 plus 4 equals 10. Let's go ahead and take away another red one right here. And we're going to magically turn that into green. This should be an easy one, I hope. How many reds and how many greens? Well, how many reds are there? There are 5. We could count them one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or if we know that is a 5 frame up there, we know that it's already full and it would make 5. And if we did the same thing, we have the same matches for the green. How many greens are there? There are 5. So 5 reds and 5 greens equals 10. For my friends who are adding, what's that number problem going to be? 5 plus 5 equals 10. Okay, we have room for one more to go. What should I do? Oh, you're right. Let's go ahead and erase that one. And we turn it into a green one. Okay, now I need to know how many red counters are there. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There are 4 red counters. And how many green counters are there? Now I could do this a couple different ways. Again, I can always count by ones, touch and count. But when we look for sets, I can see a set of 5 here because that's a 5 frame. So I could say 5 and then one more would make 6. So I could either count one by one or I could find a set and count on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. 4 red and 6 green equal 10. Eventually, we will talk about flips. Do you see this one right here? And this one right here? Those are what we call flips. They're using the same number. When we add, it doesn't matter which number goes first. When we're adding the two numbers together, we could put 6 plus 4 or 4 plus 6, and we would still get the same answer, which is 10. But that comes along a little bit farther down the road, but I wanted to always point that out to you so you're prepared and you know what is coming up. We're ready to move on to our last page. Are you ready? That's a lot of information talking about the number 10, and you guys are fantastic. What do you think we're going to do here? I bet you already know. You have been doing this so long that you are ready to do it. We are searching for sets of 10. Searching for a set of 10. So these are star stickers, and we're going to circle any set of 10 that we see. So we can count one by one, or we can find sets also. This one, we could find a set, but let's just go ahead and we'll count one by one and we'll mark as we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do you see that? That is a set of 10. So I will circle that set of 10. In these orange stars, I want you to notice something. Do you see 2 sets of 5? I see 2 sets of 5. I see a 5 here, and I see a 5 here. What is 5 plus 5? Think of your fingers. If 5 fingers and 5 fingers, how many fingers do you have altogether? You have 10 fingers. So 5 and 5 would equal 10. So I'm going to circle the orange stars because that is a set of 10 also. We know 3 by 3 by 3. Do you remember how many that is? If you don't, let's count one by one to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is not a set of 10, so we are not going to circle that. But I want you to notice something. I see a 3 by 3 by 3 and one more on the side. Well, 3 by 3 by 3 was 9. So this is going to be 9, and one more makes 10. So we will circle that. You also can count one by one to get there. The very last thing we're going to do at the bottom is you're going to draw what you know about the number 10. And then you're going to tell someone about it. Let me show you mine. I know what the number 10 looks like. Miss Vogel said it has to have a 1 first. So I will put my 1 and then our 0. A 1 and a 0 makes the number 10. The number word 10, N, that was only 3 letters. I remember that. T, 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 E. That letter we practiced this week, E, T, N, N, T, E, N. That spells 10. And last but not least, let's give drawing a 10 frame another shot. We did practice this. Remember, if you have a 10 frame, it's going to be a rectangle. 2 long sides and 2 short sides. We're going to draw a line down through the middle to turn it into 2 French fries. And how many lines up and down? 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We try our very best to try and make all those boxes the same size, but Miss Vogel didn't make hers all the same size. They're pretty close. There's a skinny and then a bigger one, skinny and then a bigger one. But that's okay. The most important part is to make sure we only have 10 boxes. And last but not least, you could draw 10 of something. I'm going to draw 10 hearts today, 10 red hearts. There's 5. I'm going to draw my other 5. And we know that 5 plus 5 is 10. So you go ahead and fill in your 10 frame however you would like. Your homework pages tonight are pages 185 and 186. You're going to need your counters to help you with 185 to break apart into 2 sets of numbers. On page 186, boys and girls, Mom or Dad or somebody at home needs to read those directions to you at the bottom so that you know what to do with them. All right. You are doing a great job. Keep up the super work, and we are already 1 lesson into chapter 4. Have a great day.